Nice. All right. Hello, I'm Weather from the Summer School Discord, and I'm here to follow this game following Rakan in a mentoring review. So at the start of every game, I like going over win conditions. I think it plays out different games differently, where you know how to play against whatever they want to do, what to watch out for, simple things like that. So their team has a very strong split push and a Kog'Maw, which is a kind of weird combination. This is a standard solo queue thing, I guess. Um, but they have so many damage threats is the main problem here. Um, Early game, you're going to have to watch out for a Blitzcrank, right? Level 1, he's going to invade you. Mid game, you're going to have to watch out for the Zed and the Pantheon because they're both going to be coming for your AD carry probably, or just killing your mid laner. But Echo's pretty good at surviving. And then late game, you're going to have to watch out for the Kog'Maw and the Yi. So it really there's damage threats at every point of the game, and it's not even full AD. They've got true damage, they've got AP, so like through Kog'Maw's W, so they've got mixed damage. But you're still gonna probably want to build Tabi this game for sure. Uh, right. So late game, they're going to have the Zed in the side lane, and they're going to probably look for the Blitzcrank to run someone down, where the Pantheon then ults behind them, and the Kog'Maw just starts, chomping away at people. So they got a lot of damage threats, and it's going to be really hard for you to prioritize who to kill. But they're all very squishy, which means if you land a very good ultimate, they could all get burst down. Unfortunately, your team doesn't have a whole lot of burst. But it does have a good amount of damage threats as well. So you could get any of these people fed, and it could change out a lot of the things. So, for example, if the Jax gets fed, he's going to be able to split push against the Yi and the Zed. He's going to even be able to potentially dive the Kog'Maw because of his dodge. Echo, same thing, because he could probably burst someone down. And Olaf, I don't really know how he's going to play into this comp, but we'll see. Your team fight revolves around your engage or the Echo's engage, the split push of Jax, and then looking for something with the rest of you in a fight. So Jax on the side, 4 of you in a fight. Maybe Jax on the side, Echo on the side, and then 3 of you in a fight. Your laning phase is going to be a little interesting. Obviously, you're going to play around the Kog'Maw W, but you also got to play around the Blitzcrank hook. So there's 2 very important cooldowns to be looking for. But it should be pretty easy to play into it level 1. Hard level, like, I don't know, 4? But easy up until there. Alright, so into the game. I really like how you get out early. This is a very important little thing that people don't do often enough. Providing vision early is super important. I really appreciate this. Especially against the Blitzcrank, right? Exactly what you're doing. Hmm. Alright, so you do have Guardian. Guardian on Rakan is my favorite. You show up a little bit late to lane. I don't know exactly what happens to make that happen. Why do you show up so late to lane? Do you just give that long of a leash? Oh yeah, Zaya for some reason walks that way. What? You need to try and show up to the lane a little bit sooner. You just completely with the decisions that you made with like how long of a leash you gave, you might have stayed like 1 extra auto. The real decision was like them walking up here like this. But because of those 2 things, there is no way you're going to get to level 2 first now. And you also gave them brush control, which is terrible against a Blitzcrank. So your level 1 needs a lot of work. And it's a simple decision thing. Like, you had the knowledge to come over here, right, to provide vision. But by not showing up to your wave soon enough in this matchup specifically, you screwed yourself really badly. Like, you're going to probably have to blow through maybe 2 potions just to stay in lane here. And maybe even a summoner spell. And that shouldn't have happened. There was no reason this should have happened. Yeah, look at that. Look at that. Both of the Zaya's potions gone. Oh, she only has one. Now they're level 2. Re-engage on this. There's the summoner spell. There's the kill. This is all because of that level 1. 100% because of that level 1, because you showed up to the lane late. So what do you do whenever you show up to the lane this late, right? So let's assume that everything still happens here, but you play this out in the way that I'm suggesting, right? You've already lost these 3 minions. There is nothing you can do to get to these 3 minions because of the zoning potential, the engage potential, the brush control, everything combined. There is no way you're getting these 3 minions. Nothing at all. No way. So what you need to do is you need to just wait for this to push to you, because you're going to have to. This is pushing to you very quickly as well. You're going to start this lane 4 CS behind, but it's going to push to you and be in a safe location. Because of what you do here, coming to this wave, trying to get brush control, this is what really does it. Because the Xayah and you both show up to lane late, but your judgment of how you're going to react to this level 1, right here, these waves, how you're going to respond to this, their level 2, everything here, this is where the problem actually happens. Because you could have just waited under turret, and it would have played out exactly the same. Because you're going to lose these minions, and it's going to be pushed to here, and you're going to have minions to hide behind, right? It's going to be the same situation, further back. You also have a ward. I think you have your ward. And you could have dropped that in these bushes before backing off. And then you go back into these bushes looking for this fight. This is not what you want to look for. And right, you can say to yourself, like, look, you traded even damage. But this is the decision of level 1. What did you burn, right? And what are you giving up? You're not going to beat them to level 2. They are going to beat you to level 2 because of what you've just done, showing up to the lane late, and accepting these trades. So what this means is you're going to have 1 less ability than them and half-life. By doing this, you give them kill potential on you. That's what this is, kill potential. So it looks even, but it's not. It's not even either because the Blitzcrank has his relics, like, so he's going to heal up still. They have essentially like 100 extra health on both these guys. Kog'Maw's at 90%. This guy's at 75. They're level 2, which means they've got 2 abilities. They haven't. Yeah, this needs a lot of work. The decision here is your greed to try and look into the wave. You're not understanding the power of level 2. You disrespect this completely, and showing up to lane late. You couldn't have done anything to make the Xayah show up on time because your team is going to always, your team does whatever your team wants. But how you react to that causes this problem. How you go into these bushes and look for this fight, you are the one who gets hooked here. How you look for this fight is why this happens. You need to really count your minions to level 2 because this is all you. A late exhaust too. It wouldn't have really changed anything because you still would have had to recall and you would have given up an advantage. And then your jungler shows up to try and help, but it's too late. See, if you had just waited for the wave to come in, you would have been level 2 and you would have been able to let the jungler gank. Yeah. And then that's the second case of you greedy. You could have just stood behind your minions. This is an unnecessary spot for you to stand in. You could have been standing over here. Why would you even stand on this side? And it seems obvious, right? But you're not thinking about it. They have a skill shot that can only go linear, right? Stand behind your minions. Your minions are right here. See these minions? Stand behind them. Stand behind your turret. You would still be here for XP. There's nothing over here. You're not contesting anything. You're not trying to engage anything. You're just giving them an opportunity. And they take it. They take that opportunity. So your positioning needs work. You need to count the minions to level 2. You need to show up to level 2 sooner. You need to respect the enemies more. This is both from the skill shots of Blitzcrank being linear and not standing behind minions to the level 2 where you know they were going to get it first and you still chose to engage and stand that far up. Respect, your aggression is good, but you don't know when to do it, which is probably why you think that going in works, right? Because someone needs to make plays. But if you don't know the windows to trade, you're not going to make smart trades, and it's going to be a coin flip every time. Your decision to go in over here earlier was not a coin flip. That was a bad decision. This is much better, just letting it up. You don't want to look for that. You're already behind in summoners. They're going to just be able to trade more damage. They kill you. Yeah, you don't want to look for these. You're not respecting them enough again. Yeah, yeah. So the echo part, you actually played pretty fine. You know, that was fine. This game is looking really grim though. With all of their damage threats and the way that this game could play out, it should be over here. It should be over. Um, so anything else that happens really is just their misplays and you trying to take advantage of it, which isn't unheard of, right? There are throws. But the game should be over here. You're already down 3K, and they have so much damage on their team that they really should be able to do whatever the fuck they want. Um, yeah. So this is a big problem. You don't give any respect to the enemy. You're not looking at your summoner spells because look at that. The Blitzcrank almost has. He still has his flash. He could have flashed, knocked up you. There was no way you were going to avoid this fight. No way at all. No way at all. No way at all. The Echo part was fine. It's just that the Echo was already behind, and they still had all of their summoner spells and stuff. Or not all of them, but whatever. The Zed followed, I guess. Let me watch that again. It was close. Oh yeah, they healed. So yeah, they still had their heal. I know that was the reason that ended kind of poorly, and the Zed followed. Yeah, you gotta give a lot more respect. And your respect, well, I'm not just saying play like a bitch, right? But you need to play smart. You're down summoner spells, so you're going to lose these fights. You're down kills, and you're down items. Kog'Maw has pickaxe, you have a longsword, right? So you're also not paying attention to cooldowns. They had all of their shit to engage on you with, and you're playing up. They had levels on you. Level 4 to level 5, right? Level 3 to level 4. They have levels on you, they have gold on you, they have summoner spells on you. They even had minions on you. You needed to just wait. And right, let's think about what I'm saying. You sacrifice minions, but you don't feed because you're just giving them more and more and more. And what if you had just waited for it to crash up here, right? You waited for it to crash. Echo still ganks. You had that little bit of extra damage with the Zaya, then a little bit of extra CC to make it so that way you killed the Kog'Maw. Also, if they chased you after that, they would have had to have turret dove you. What would you have sacrificed? You would have sacrificed maybe 150 gold and minions to not die, to catch the wave so you didn't have an XP disadvantage, and to get some gold yourself. Instead, you lose pretty much that same amount of gold to the tower because you die, and they push it to the tower. You lose the tower, which is even more gold disadvantage. You lose kills, which is even more gold disadvantage. So what are windows to trade, right? These things are important, but your problems is really respect so far. The respect, though, there are three windows that you want to look to trade, and the second one in this case is the one that you need to work on. Cooldowns. Cooldowns from something like, but cooldowns related to levels are also a thing because they have like an extra ability once they level up. What is the cooldown on that is XP basically. But if they still have their hook, if they still have their W, if they still have their slow, whatever, they can engage on you and kill you. You're not watching for their important cooldowns, and you're behind. You're playing this lane from behind, so all you can do at this point is stay alive. And at what point did you give up this lane? Was your level 1. Literally, your level 1 cost you the game so far. This game should be over here. 4K behind. Your level 1 to level 2, not respecting that cost you a lot here. This is good though. I like this. Yeah. It's a very good idea. Like this, what you're doing here is excellent actually. But the problem is you're very underleveled. You're level 3 and you're trying to make these plays. Um, what you're doing is good, but simultaneously bad. You need to catch XP somewhere. You need to catch XP. Whenever you're level 3, if you're doing this sort of thing, you need to at least match their support's level. They're level 4. You need to be level 4. Because if you're going to go mid, Zed's 6. He can ult you. You're down, by being down 3 levels, you're down like 200 health. You're down, well, you're not 6, so you're down in ability again. That's a cooldown. You need to catch XP. But roaming here is great because Xayah managing this wave and getting XP to catch up is also good. I would be looking to gank top and try and get this out, which is exactly what you're going for, but you're going for it in a risky way. You also pass through mid, which gives it away. I would have recalled and walked through lane to go and do this. Because you see the Yi's waiting here. This means you're not tracking him. Tracking the Yi means that he should be bottom actually because he should be getting red. So I wouldn't really expect him to be up here. But you have no vision, so you have to assume he could be anywhere. Especially with the way that he's already taken this turret. This is the downside of being level 3. But you did end up getting a kill out of it, which is very important. And you got your level 4 from that. That was good. As I said, very good choice. Is the Echo going to get this too? If he does, this is very worth. I don't think he gets it. Ah, well. Going back bottom here to catch some XP with Xayah is a great idea. You need to worry about some wards though. If you're letting the your AD carry split push, you need to set up for them. This is a very good idea to let her split push, but you need a ward to catch a river rotation. And if you could somehow get a ward to catch the jungle rotation too, that would help a lot. A ward by their red buff and a ward in the river, like, I don't know, a dragon, would both be really, really helpful. In this situation, this specific situation. Maybe even a deeper ward than dragon because you don't have a turret. So something on the red buff and then like in the lane over here. Then the Xayah, as long as she doesn't step close enough to these bushes, she shouldn't die. Yeah, she should be fine. And then you can look for your roams again. At this point, you need to be playing towards probably your top side still, because that's where you have a little bit of an advantage. And to try and get yourself back into the game, topside playing towards your advantage is where you want to look for it. Trying to get someone back into the game at this point is going to be really hard. You've already used your exhaust too, so you can't really counter-engage Zed. You can't really counter-engage a Yi, and you can get pulled bot lane into a really fed Kog'Maw. So the only real option you have is going top. But to do that, you need vision control. And all of these problems come literally from your level 1 not giving enough respect, and then how you play from behind in lane. You don't know how to play from behind in lane, and just wait for it. That is greed. You need to learn to wait for it. What happens mid is just you didn't respect the Blitzcrank being mid moments ago, and where you walk was really risky. I would have just walked past, back this way, but you were looking through over here. And again, that falls into vision control. The way that you're roaming, I would not rush this Nomad's Medallion. Nomad's Medallion requires you to be sitting in a lane to get a lot of gold from it. I would have looked for your Sightstone instead. You really need to get your wards out to protect your AD carry split pushing. Rushing this is if you're sitting in lane. If you're going and doing what you're doing, you're not going to make gold off of this. And you see what happens over here because you don't have vision of it? You almost die again. And then you look for this engage. You really have no respect for them. You can't do this with how far behind you are. You gave up a turret from that because now you can't defend this. Oh, I guess you can because they decided to go back bottom. That was a good attempt. I really like that engage. So what makes this different, right? This is a really, really important thing. What makes this different? It's numbers. Whenever you're looking to come back into a lane like this, you need extra people. You need extra people. And in this situation, the Kog'Maw, look at the level, 8 to 4. He's double your level. That should never happen. But you still have everything you need to go in and engage with your kit, right? Except for your ult, but you can get in other ways. As I said, what you did was fine to go in. But why do you win this, right? You're looking for all of these fights, you're looking for these fights, and you're looking for these fights, but you're not picking smart ones. This is a smart fight because the Xayah is coming, and you have a 2, or rather a 2 on their side versus your 3. What you're doing here, baiting them in, is also really important because you need to make sure your Xayah is there, right? You're walking it out, the Xayah is now here, and then you're walking it in. Rakan has a really good engage. You then burn the Kog'Maw's flash immediately. This is a really, really, really good play to come back into the game. This is what you need to look for. Numbers advantages. And this is honestly the best it could have gotten. Now, how did you know you had a numbers advantage here? That's how. Right here. This is how. This is how. You took a smart fight because you knew where everyone was. You had a numbers advantage. If I was, yeah, I guess letting that go is fine. All right. Cooldowns and numbers advantages, and then giving respect once you're behind. You need to play a lot safer from both your roams. You're taking really risky roam pathing after you see where the enemy is. You also need to work on your warding. As I had mentioned earlier, you're not setting up for this, and your item build towards it. Moby's is a great build, but Nobed's Medallion isn't going to help you nearly as much. Okay, this is another risky spot to be in. What if they were over here? They just killed the dragon. Do you know where they are? Look where they are! You have no respect for where you're pathing. You're pathing through no vision. No vision. No vision at all. Look. Look what you do. Do you see him? He's right here. Right? He's right here. Their team just kills dragon. Where are they going to go after this? Look at they're strong. He could have walked up here. 4 people. Risky, unnecessary. Risky and unnecessary. That's what that is. You need to work a lot on your prediction of where people are. And in obvious situations like this, you need to be able to say, hey, there's probably several people bottom. Let me not walk this way. You need to worry about like your Blitzcrank death over here. Where are people? And how did this fight work, right? Right? Again, let's look at this. It's beautiful. You didn't know the Zed was recalled at this point because you didn't have vision, but you won this because of numbers. And the way you can ensure you have numbers is with wards, and you are not valuing your Sightstone, and you don't know how to predict where people are. So if you can't predict where people are, you fucking need your Sightstone. You also don't buy pink wards, which is going to help you do this too. That's a permanent ward right there if you put it in the right spot, if you can defend it. Yeah, you're being given windows back into this game. Buy your Sightstone, get some wards out. Right, there we go. That's what I want to see. This is a terrible ward. So, okay, let's talk about what you need to be doing to ward, right? Warding is all about putting one ward along a path that someone needs to use to get somewhere else. You only need one ward to catch them out, and ideally you catch them as early as possible, right? That's the difference between warding literally the bush right outside of your lane and warding like right here, right? If the Zed is going to walk down through all of this and you only catch him in right here, he's still going to kill you. He's still going to kill you. He's still going to get that's enough time for him to get to you and kill you. But if you see him all the way back here, right, through this river bush, right, or this bush, or maybe even over here, whatever, further back is my point, you'll have enough time to react. This ward is really late because if they're going to come to you, they're going to have to come through where you are now. Most of the time, yeah. Otherwise, they're going to come through over here. And let's be real, no one's going to come through over here. No one's going to come through over here. Jax has control of this side of the map if he's still going to be playing over here. So if you ward deeper, right, over here, you catch from mid lane if they were going top. And then, Tri-Brush is safe. From mid lane going top, the Tri-Brush is safe. And you catch them if they're coming from river into your jungle. And you catch them before they can flank. Because, if they're already here, the Zed could shadow over this wall, Blitzcrank could walk over here and pull still, so it's too late for you to get out. This ward is too late. And look, if you're still walking up after this, right, you're still exploring this dangerous area. But it's not even dangerous. Look where their team is. Look at this. Look at this. And then, like a few seconds from now, you see Kog'Maw. So it's not even dangerous. Wasted ward. You're holding on to the other ones. You have one other one down. This is okay. This ward is only useful for stealing. If you assume they're doing it, which they could have been in this situation since you just saw them top, this is a good ward. Otherwise, it's worthless. In this situation, though, you hit the vision thing before going over and warding this, right? I think you did. Yeah. So you did not have to ward this because you know they were not doing it. This is not an important ward to get down. The one you have over the wall heal area. That one is also not important. And it's because of resource management. You only get 3 wards on the map. 3 wards on the map is not a lot. To ward somewhere like this, if they're not doing Herald, which they're not, it is the equivalent of warding your spawn. You need to predict better where people are going to be and where they have to go through to get there. This is not going to catch out anything except for Herald. Literally only Herald. You need to put a better ward than this. You need to put a better ward than this. And this is all fine. Playing mid right now with your team is kind of what you want to do. Excellent. You backed a little bit early. I think you recalled there. Did you recall? Yeah, you did recall. You didn't have to recall here. I don't even know what you would have bought. You have what you need, and you gave up this fight. You could have probably kept the Jacks alive if you were here with your ult. And what did you buy? You didn't buy anything. You had no reason to recall there. You just recalled for wards. And you put down terrible wards, so you didn't have to recall for wards. Because you still should have had your wards. And look. You caught them doing Herald, but do you know what that did for you? You still lost Herald. This is an example. This is only for stealing. And if it's only for stealing, that means you literally need to be doing Herald, or they need to be doing Herald for this ward to be useful. Right. Sorry. Was looking at something. Uh, there's no reason to go in here. You're just dead now. Let people die. Let people die. Numbers advantage seen up here. You knew that was a smart fight. You know this is also a smart fight, but got to be careful with your dives. So yeah, getting out's good too. But you are giving up this to do that. All this damage. To come back into this game, you need to be putting your crowd control where the Jacks can use it. So you always got to be sticking with the Jacks right now. He is your carry. It's amazing how long this game goes on, though. You have an inhibitor down. This game should have closed out like right now. But it's because they're always scattered. They're not grouping. And again, you had a numbers advantage over here. You're really good at looking for these numbers advantages. Numbers advantage, again, beautiful. That's what you want to look for. That's exactly it. Very nicely done. I'd have gone for Baron probably. Yeah, because do they get Baron here? If I was them, I would have gotten Baron here. There's not a lot of focus on Baron for some reason in lower elos. But yeah, you got to work a lot on your warding. Try and take Zombie Ward too. Like, really, Zombie Ward's really, really strong, especially in lower ratings. That was an okay attempt. Really, the enemy team should have been able to just turn on that whole fight, right? The enemy team is really misplaying this. Yeah, just one at a time coming at you. Hmm. You have no vision. That's largely your job, and you're not putting any wards out. And when you do, they're not good wards. At this point, putting the ward over here would be a good idea because you have nothing left to defend up until this. So, all right, you know, I'm considering the game over here. Doesn't matter if you win or you lose. At this point, you should have lost. Um, they've been playing really split up, and if they're playing right, they wouldn't do that. They would just end. Uh, Okay, so your level 1 needs a lot of work, your respect needs a lot of work, your warding needs a lot of work, you need to buy pink wards, you need to prioritize Sightstone more, especially whenever you're roaming like this. You need to better play from behind. Playing from behind regards to respect and just waiting for the wave to come to you. You need to put more focus onto Baron, not a whole lot more, but you did have a window where you could have baited or done it, and I think that would have been the better move, because that would have stalled out the game a lot more. Granted, I guess you didn't really need to stall out the game since it's already stalling out. You really need to let people die. Sometimes people just die, like earlier over here when you ulted in and I said you should have let her die. You should have let her die because you ended up dying too, and that way it was now all that crowd control you could have provided for the Jax wasn't there. You need to make sure you're worried about your level. You got really underleveled this game, really underleveled. Somehow you were let back into it, but whenever you were roaming mid, that was really risky. And then you showed mid, and then you still tried to roam top. You did end up getting a kill out of it, but that was risky, and it was obvious. Why else would you be walking up here? You know, you showed mid. Your warding needs to better think about how the enemy is going to have to path to whatever you think they're going to go to next. In this case, your mid turret was already down, so they were only going to path to this turret or the top turret. You didn't need to catch them out this close because you have more control in the mid lane, right? It's a shorter lane. You'll be able to see them go through here from the tower, right? From the tower. So you need something further. You need a further ward. Your team fighting, like this game, I'm gonna kind of skip that honestly. You got a lot of lucky fights, because they constantly were not grouped. They were always split. And I don't think any of that had to do with really your engage choices. You were engaging everything. And you're not you need to be able to engage with knowing where the enemy team is. So you picked these fights. For example, the 4v3 over here that you won, not knowing the Zed had recalled. It did end up working because you did outnumber them, but you did not know you were going to outnumber them. Uh, you need to respect XP a lot more, especially with that level 2. That really, really, really dicked you. Really dicked you. Um, yeah. Those are the biggest things. You need to be able to respect the enemy team whenever you're behind. Your rotations were pretty good. You just didn't set up for your AD carry, so your AD carry could have constantly died. You don't ward in very good places, both for your AD carry or for rotations or for anything. And there are warding guides out there, but I went over this game what I would have done, and you need to just kind of adapt my thought process. Every situation, even though some of them reoccur, there's like 100, and you're not going to memorize 100 different warding locations. You're going to know where they're going to go based off of what's available. And that's how you're going to ward, where they're going to go. But you're not good at tracking because, again, the dragon situation, the blitzcrank situation where you got pulled over here, you never really know where to track them. So you got to watch them. Specifically, probably would be good to start with tracking the enemy jungler, because he is the one that if you are able to track the enemy jungler, you'll start watching the map a lot more. Tracking a blitzcrank is also important, but you are able to essentially do that with just pinging Mia in lane, which is cheating. You need to know where people are. And to know where people are, you need to know where they want to be. And then you're able to ward where they're going to walk. And then you're able to catch them out. You're able to set up smart fights. You're able to find your way back into games. Even games like this. But you really dicked yourself with your level 1 and level 2. And then after that, just not providing any respect, really lost this lane and could have potentially, like, really, this should have lost the game in like 6-7 minutes, including what was happening mid and with the E. Really just should have been over. Alright, well, I hope this doesn't come off as too flamey. It's just I'm really pointing out what I think your weaknesses are. Alright, I hope it was helpful, and good luck, my dude.